Thank you for coming to another episode of His Wife, Her Husband.
I am Shamika, his wife,
And I am Patrick, her husband, and our purpose is to help you build
and sustain your
from
marriage.
a biblical perspective. All right. So my daughter picked out three questions, or she picked out some questions for us to answer. We're going to answer those questions, and hopefully, um, you'll hear some nuggets that you can use for your own marriage that will help you continue to make your marriage meaningful. You can give us the question.
In what ways have you seen your partner change since you got married, and how have you supported their growth? Again, the question is, in what ways have you seen your partner change since you got married, and how have you supported their growth?
So, am I going first or you going first?
Sure, you.
I would say the growth, or here we go. So, for me, it was um, confidence. So, I know that my wife has an A, and she wants to be, she wants to motivate women and to speak to them and speak to their heart. And my wife has like hope is always there. It's always in her heart to see people do better, to see people grow better, just to improve in their lives. And so she had for if I'm trying to fix it up, make it sound good. But anyway, for lack of better terms, the confidence wasn't there to do it, to be able to go out and to just to begin to be able to stand before crowds and speak. And so just throughout the years, for me, I think one time we had her stand on the stage at the what is it called? Where Nate worked or used to work.
It's an outdoor venue.
So
The
anyway, the
shell.
outdoor venue,
Hmm.
and so we would have her stand on the stage and just kind of just talk and just give. I think we kind of stood in the back. I think it was we. Was it we or was it me?
You.
It was just me, and just had her just kind of just say what you want to say. Like, what would you say? What would you do? And just kind of the idea was to have her on the stage to feel that feeling of being there so that she can imagine herself being there or standing before many women. Um, Another thing, and this is just as image from an image standpoint, is on Canva, I created a flyer or this picture of kind of like this vision board, so to speak. And the vision board, I took a person that had the audience, and the audience was there, and it was already this person that was already standing before the crowd, and they had their hands up, and so I cropped her in the picture to give her an image of her before thousands of people to be able to have this vision of what it would look like to be able to do that. And then I would say the last thing to kind of help her go along is, um, and this is in church. So in church, typically we try to do at the end of each sermon series, we would kind of go together in the sermon series. But lately, I've been just I've been encouraging her to just do it by herself because I know, like everybody knows that standing in front of people, that's one of those things that you want to do. And so for me, it was like, okay, I need to get her to be more comfortable standing in front of people, standing up, talking, and then encouraging people to move forward. So that would be one of the things that off the top of my head that just came up. Yes, how would you think about
So the change would be what?
that?
Change from to being.
Less. Well, you're less. I would say you still need more growth, but you still go at it. Like you're less. What's the word I'm looking for?
Insecure.
No, insecure is not the word I'm looking for. Like you have more courage now. I would say you have more courage. You still go out. but you're finding your. I can see every time you go up that you're finding your voice. You're finding your fit, and even listening to you when you do your coaching, when you've been doing your coaching with your clients, you can st- I can you can see the growth as you're becoming more confident in who God made you in terms of your own lane or your own voice for women. So I
So
was
there would be changing from being timid to being courageous. Because timid would be like reluctant.
okay.
Is that safe to say?
Sure.
I just to stick with the question.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, you asked me what did I think. I think that that's what you witnessed. So I mean, yeah.
I mean, is that do you feel like that's where you are or?
I can tell where I can definitely sense where I have. I'm not the young lady that I was when
Mhm.
you married me. You know, just very fearful. I was very timid. Not trusting. You know, I a lot of unfortunate circumstances led me to being reluctant
Mhm.
to being trustful when it came to the space of relationship. So I can see where I have grown.
Okay.
I think that I don't know. I guess you can say it in marriage. I don't. I guess the question for me is like in the space of let's say, in what ways have you seen your spouse change since you got married?
Yeah. So it didn't say it didn't.
It
It didn't
it
sound like
ha-
it said it just
just only in
the marriage. Just
marriage.
how I've seen you change.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Um. So I guess it's my turn to answer the question. So the ways that I have,
Are you okay? Your energy kind of off. You good?
yeah, I am off.
Okay.
Yeah. Um. I
You want to talk
was.
about it
It'll work itself
and
out.
work through it, and maybe that's something they can see us work through, whatever it is that could help them out too.
Uh. Sure. Therapy 101. I'm not quite sure what it is. Um. Yeah. Yeah.
So what are you feeling?
Um. I feel a blah.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm grateful to be in this space, but it still feels like pulling teeth. I don't know. It's like a performance-itis. Like it's never enough. Like I don't know. I don't know.
You said performance side is like us doing the talk, or performance side is just about the his wife or husband YouTube. Like when you say performance side, what? Let me go a little bit deeper for me.
So let's go with. I guess let's start with the microphone. Like it just wouldn't work,
Mhm.
and I was trying to make it where it worked,
Mhm.
but then I can tell where you probably was getting frustrated. Like at the end of the day, leaning to the mic. Like I get it, but I want to be in a space of comfortableness too. So that can be, it's like okay. So in a way, that'll throw your energy off. It's like the little things
Mhm.
that can throw things off. And again, it's like wanting and needing to be right and on point. And if I'm not right and on point, then yeah,
So it's from a so that would be perfectionism. Is that right? Is that a good word?
that is get rightism.
So the mic's off. The mic was off. The seating, like the pillows off, and it threw you off. Hmm.
This time it
Then
did.
okay,
Usually it don't, but it could be hormonal too.
okay,
But it is well. We're gonna press through.
okay.
Yeah.
So what's the solution?
Keep going and press through. Yeah.
Okay, all right. Y'all heard it here,
Okay.
101. So hope we can get through it.
We will. All right. So, the question again is, in what ways have you seen your partner change
Hmm.
since you got married, and how have you supported their growth? I can see where, do I supposed to say your name or do I supposed to say you? I have, this
I
is
will hope
so
you.
weird.
And
It's not,
it's me.
okay, yeah.
I think it's me. Is it me?
Okay.
Am I your spouse?
Duh. Um,
Wait a minute. Did you like my answer? Did you want me to say something different?
what you say? I don't know. That's, I think that's legit.
Okay.
Yeah.
You may have had an idea that you wanted me to say,
I
then
could
I didn't
suck
say
my
it,
teeth.
and it was like, I thought he was gonna say, you know, something. He didn't say that.
It's true. I could see where that could went. Yeah, no, I didn't feel like he thought I was a little girl, insecure. Yeah, I was totally like you. You was spot on to me.
Okay.
Hmm. And I would say, I guess the only thing that I would say different, if I could add on,
You
would
can.
be it's not just like the vision board or you creating visions, but it's like you really giving me space to be the woman that God created me to be. I couldn't ask for a better support.
Hmm.
Couldn't ask for better support. Like it has never been. Um, I don't. I in my mom trying to go back. I have never attempted or desired a goal or dream that you told me no, or you didn't support me in it. When I wanted to go back to school, you supported me. When I wanted to work, you supported me. When I wanted to be a stay-at-home mom, you supported me. When I wanted to start my own business, you supported me. In every space um, that I have entered into, you have supported me 100, 1,000%.
That's good. Praise
Yep,
God.
yep. When I wanted to write a book, yep, yep,
And you've written the books.
yeah.
So here go a question. Here's a question. Before you answer that question, here's a question. If you believe your marriage is in need of coaching, Shamika and I are certified marriage and life coaches. Just log into our website, www.hiswifeherhusband.net, to book your discovery call.
Wives, if you are looking for one-on-one coaching, put his wife in the notes section.
Husbands, if you are looking for one-on-one coaching, put her husband in the notes section.
Husbands and wives, if you are looking for marriage coaching as a couple, put his wife, her husband in the notes section.
Remember, our purpose is to help you build
and sustain your marriage
from a biblical perspective.
So go on over to www.hiswifeherhusband.net to schedule your discovery call today. Okay.
Why do spouses, what are some of the reasons why spouses don't support, their spouse? What are some reasons you think husbands don't support their wives and wives don't support their husbands in their dreams and aspirations?
Yeah. I think that sometimes it could be of fear of the change because, whether it's a good change or a bad change, it's uncertainty there. And it's a possibility that you may move and leave.
Hmm.
You may find somebody else in that space that the spouse may not be in. So you have that fear. It could be jealousy,
Hmm.
not wanting the spouse to reach a certain altitude.
Hmm.
It could be financial. Just it's competition and pride that will keep people, keep spouses from supporting one another. And if you're not safe in that space of supporting your spouse, then it's going to show up.
Hmm.
Hmm.
So I guess the thing for me is like how did spouses get to that point where they don't support one another or they don't feel comfortable or don't feel secure enough to support them? Like, what's the change? And I think you said the change could be that they would go on and move on.
Hmm.
Okay, but why? Why do they feel that way? So what did the spouse do to make them feel as if though they will leave? You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah, but
Um,
sometimes it may not be the spouse. It could be something that the spouse witnessed as a child.
mhm.
It could be, we observing and learning things as we go and through life. and it's like, ooh, so and so mama left when the daddy
Got his
started.
degree. Got
Yeah.
yeah. Right. Right. Right.
You
Right.
know, you hear stories too, even in movies, you hear stories where the wife or the husband will support the other. And then once they get there, it was the somebody at work,
The mistress.
the or Mister, that it's like,
Mhm.
yeah. So anyway, so you we see that in on the screen
Mhm.
where I supported you in your dream and you left me when you arrived there.
Mhm.
So it can be some underlining things because
Mhm.
the truth be told, the mind does not know that it's not them that's going through. It's just witnessing experiences.
Mhm.
And so, like sometimes we're looking at crime on TV, when we're looking at loss, and we feel the impact of that, which is why sometimes we can look at a movie and cry, or we
Mhm.
like,
Mhm.
whatever. That's supposed to be shocking.
Mhm.
But anyway, when you witness that, the mind doesn't know that it's not being done to it,
Right.
to the person.
Correct.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So,
I think that's why it's important for communication throughout the marriage, or as people beginning to grow in the marriage, to begin to get to know your spouse, not just as your spouse, but as your friend. I think if you have true friends, I don't think true friends are jealous of one another. True friends really support one another, and they encourage one another, and they want to see the person do well.
mm-hmm.
And so, because the spouses aren't really friends, and that's my thing, and people disagree, but because they aren't really friends, then they don't know how to. Here you go. They don't know how to do what the scripture says in Corinthians, where it says that the husband um, must. I'm just paraphrasing because I can't think of it verbatim. That the husband must be concerned about how he may please his wife, and she must be concerned also about how she may please her husband. So it's hard for me to do that with my wife or with the husband, because we don't have this connection with God, nor with ourselves, nor with our spouse from a firm foundation of a firm relationship foundation in the marriage. And so, yeah, I can feel like, or may be fearful or jealousy or things of that nature. Because I don't think, yeah, I know none of my guys that's 100 upset when we do well. Like, we encourage that. Because really, the truth be told, just coming from hanging out, man, when I come up, you come up. So in a sense, in the marriage, it should be that way. Like, when she come up, hey, guess what? Guess who coming with her? But that happens, or that's easier to believe, and it's easier to be done again when throughout the relationship, this friendship is firm and strong. My opinion.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That would be another prime example of that too. As far as the friendship is, just like earlier in the segment, you noticed that my energy was off,
Mm-hmm.
and so you was like, "Hey, what's going on?" And a lot of times we won't address what that is that we sense.
Mm-hmm.
So let's say a spouse is moving or being promoted a lot, or they're making changes, and then the spouse that is witnessing that and feeling a certain kind of way,
Mm-hmm.
it would be wise to say, "Baby, I really am excited," or about you being promoted, or
Mm-hmm.
"Baby, I'm really feeling a way about you getting promoted, and it seems like I'm
That's deep.
stuck.
Yeah.
I feel like stuck, like I feel like you might leave me."
Yeah.
But again, no one really wants to be or express their
Yeah.
vulnerability.
Yeah.
Um, and so that kind of leads me into something that I was reflecting on this morning, and that would be that a place of covenant. We say covenant relationship, but I don't really think that we really have really dug into what that means. And so, anyway, th- I would say what I just shared about, I see you being promoted and I'm feeling a certain kind of way.
Mm-hmm.
Or I'm moving on and you're not moving at all. And
Mm-hmm.
it's frustrating me. Like, why you
I'm
not?
I'm moving and
And
you're
you're
not doing
stuck.
anything,
Uh-huh.
and that's frustrating for me
Uh-huh.
as well. Like, it's, hey, I got you. Go
Yeah.
ahead.
So it's kind of a double edged. So, one spouse may be continuing to work to compensate for the lack of another one
Mhm.
because they do desire a better future or they want a good today,
Mhm.
you know? And so, at any rate, a part of that covenant, when we say, when, we hear in Genesis that they were naked and unashamed.
Mhm.
That naked was not just a physical without clothing, but they were naked emotionally, mentally, spiritually, like they were wide open, like they could see each other,
Mhm.
and they could enjoy one another without anything hindering or keeping them from one another. Because at the point that we put fig leaves on,
Mhm.
there that is a type of covering.
Mhm.
And even if the now that's modern, that's 2024, a type of fig leaf would be a career.
Mm.
I'm covering up, I'm compensating
Mhm.
with making sure that we have a lot of finances so
Mhm.
I won't have to address that, that you feeling insecure.
Mhm.
I may throw myself into volunteering. Okay, let's really be transparent.
Mhm.
I'll throw myself into the
Ch- yeah,
ministry
into church. Yeah.
and I will help others, but I won't help you.
Yeah.
And so I can see that you're starving. Like at the end of the day, when we leave the house, it's like going back to their performance. It's like game on. We gonna do this in the
Mhm.
name of the Lord. When we come
Mhm.
home, don't you say nothing to me. Don't
Mhm.
look my way. And I know you're not expecting me to fix your plate, cause I
Mhm.
ain't. That's not what I was here to do. Or I just finished serving everybody
Yeah.
else. And so, and the truth of the matter is, you very well may be exhausted.
I saw a YouTube video of a couple like that. Like I think they said for 8 years they've really been separated, but the church never knew it because they were trying to keep up this
Image.
image.
Yeah.
And I think at some point the wife, she got fed up. Is the wife? No, yeah, the wife. The wife got fed up, and she just said she couldn't do it anymore because they were quote unquote trying to protect the flock, but in the end they were really hurting themselves.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
probably doing more damage because the people at the church, she said, had no idea what was going on. But the woman just couldn't, like the wife, she couldn't do it anymore. And I forgot what ended up. Oh, they ended up coming to get counseling from somebody and to kind of deal with it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't think they ever went into what actually happened, like how
The
was it resolved,
outcome.
like the outcome. Yeah,
Yeah.
but that may be happening a lot,
Yeah.
in a lot
Oh,
of
yeah,
places.
for
You know what
sure.
I'm saying?
For sure. But then again, like I said, it goes back to being able, well, let me go back. You sharing, being able to have that friendship
Mhm.
where if you are feeling away, I know that I can come to you and be honest and
Mhm.
transparent
Mhm.
about what I am truly feeling. The fact that you are moving on
Mhm.
is showing how stuck I am,
Mhm.
you know?
Mhm.
Or, baby, I want to support you, but I'm so freaking frustrated
Mhm.
that I hadn't
Mhm.
made moves in my own life. Like it's just so much,
Mhm.
so many reasons that could be why a lot. I'm not gonna say a lot because they're so vague. There could be the reason why some spouses don't support one another.
And maybe they don't feel comfortable or they don't feel the safe space to come to their spouse to be honest about how they feeling about them moving on forward. Just think, I know, well, it could be. Just, I think it happens more in the mind of a man that if the wife is moving and grooving and I as the man is am not doing anything. Like I'm not doing nothing. That we feel some kind of way. You feel what I'm saying?
But
And
you can't
so,
say that you
but
feel
I
that way.
can't. But I believe I actually can. But for some reason, through life has made me feel like as a man I can't say. You know what I'm saying? Like you gotta, man, you gotta toughen up. You gotta take that. Or you gotta do your thing or whatever the case may be. Don't be coming to me whining. Like it's like I don't know. We so think about dude. Just like man, you still crying about that, man. Stop crying. Like that's. that's something we would say, which is not good, because that means we don't have. We always talk about when we get with the other couples, like where do the men go? And we like, well, the barbershop. Okay, well, what if they don't have a barbershop to go to where they can really talk about their emotions and feelings? And um, I saw a difference when our barbershop went from several chairs to just the one chair and appointment only. How the men I was cutting, the men who I were cutting their hair, how they began to open up a lot more because there was nobody else there, and they were able to kind of just really be
To
honest with how they
vent.
feel, and to vent. So again, going back to, they feel like they can't say this to their wife, and maybe they really can't, because the
Yeah.
wife might be like, "Man, don't be coming with all that, man up." Like, no, baby, this is not time for me, for you to say man up to me. This is me taking a chance on being vulnerable. And as we were saying at the marriage workshop, or what was it, conference,
Mm-hmm.
the at the marriage conference, as a man, if I'm coming to you as my wife, hoping this is a place of vulnerability, is that right? I think that's a word. And then you push me, oh yeah, yeah, yeah. After a while, you'll never get that again. I'll never be naked and ashamed before you again. Yeah. So from now on, whoever has a listening ear, whatever they have, what they call them, uh, work wife, whatever work wife has the listening ear for me, yeah, Keisha gonna get all this information. You know what I'm saying?
It's Keisha. It's
Well, Keisha and
Keisha.
Keith, those are the people.
Mercy.
Yeah.
Every
Anyway,
time you hear me, every time I hear that, I get tickled.
no offense to anybody named Keisha. That's it's just, I don't know. Anyway,
Yeah.
come on, your turn.
All
Answer the
right,
question.
my turn. All right. So again, the question is, in what ways have you seen your spouse change since you got married, and how have you supported their growth?
Hmm.
So I have. Let me see. I don't know why. I have witnessed Patrick change. Um, I have to admit, he always was a visionary. Like, he always had vision. Let me just not use a churchy, but he always had a vision, and he always knew how to um, cipher through choices or decisions in life. Like, he's always been the type of person, take a sheet of paper, fold it in half, list the pros and the cons.
Hmm.
So as far as that is concerned, there has been a constant, but I have witnessed him going after more goals, not leaving anything um, just unfinished or by the wayside.
Hmm.
And so I have supported him in being there with my time, with resources, with energy, with encouragement, with support, anything that it is that he communicates that he need. I do my best to be there to assist him in those goals. And I do my best to stay sensitive, try to stay prayerful, that even the unspoken, to pay attention to his posture, to pay attention to maybe his nonverbals, that if I need to step in. So yeah, I have witnessed him accomplish goals. I have witnessed him make wrongs right, and to continue to stay right.
Who made wrong?
Huh?
Who was wrong? Me?
You have made some wrongs. You have corrected
I'm just
some wrong.
messing with
Okay, like okay. I'm like, wait a minute, did I say that right? Like, oh my God.
you. Like, I don't do anything wrong.
Yeah, and yeah, you've been very resolute as well. I think the older you get, the more resolute you get, and it's like, I'm not moving on this.
Hmm.
This is going to happen, and I'm going to make it happen.
Hmm.
Now, I have to admit, sometimes it be scary. It's like, whew. But, I have also witnessed where the Lord has always come through to confirm he's on course, you know? Anyway, so yeah, I appreciate the gift of being able to support you, and you not being a stuck spouse.
Hmm.
And because I believe because you are not stuck, then you can support me. And I believe because I am not stuck, I can support you.
I think one of the common things I tell men is, and we've all heard it before, don't be a parked car.
Mm.
We're trying to get, for men, we're trying to get our wives to support us, or to get behind us, or get beside us, or whatever you want, whatever, however you want to say
Hmm.
it. Um,
The phrase to describe
right,
support.
right.
Hmm.
To be the helpmeet,
Hmm.
to be that person that comes along and helps the vision. Like, you got to be moving. You got to be going, or have a map at least on where you want to go, and then you got to start moving. If you begin to move, because we're always talking about submission. If you begin to move, I have no doubt in my mind. So I would say, if you want your wife to submit to you, give her something to submit to. Like, be found moving, be found doing something, have something in place, a good plan, and then have some action. Um, I was talking in the barbershop last week, and the guy was talking about getting his wife on board with some of the financial things that he's working on. And there was a guy that used to do network marketing. I used to be a part of the network marketing group, Excel Communications. And he said his wife, when he first started, he was a real estate agent. And when he first started doing network marketing, he wasn't making any money. It was like the checks weren't coming in, whatever the case may be. He just kept at, just kept peaking people, kept peaking and peaking and peaking people to be a part of the thing. And then all of a sudden, it went from this thing you're doing to what is this thing we're doing. You know what I'm saying? Like, she went from, so what's this little thing you're doing? Then those checks, he started making $100,000 a month in network marketing residual. And then it went from, what's this little thing to you doing? Now, what are we doing? And his comment was, a little money on her hips will loosen her lips. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you really want her to really get involved, you got to start producing. Like, show some type of productivity, not just activity, but productivity. And I was telling him, I said, man, listen, she gotta start seeing results. She gotta start seeing some results.
If that's the same guy
And
that was bringing in $100,000.
now this is two different guys,
Hmm.
but I was just giving it as an example of the guy who was bringing $100,000. Now his wife is really like, okay, what's going on now? What are we doing again? Like, what is this going
I
on? And so she
understand.
began to kind of just move along, and to kind of help him out in the vision, but he's moving. And so I was telling the young man last week, I was giving him that story as well, and just kind of telling him that, hey, she's seeing you do things, but she's not seeing anything produce. And you got to stick to one thing, make it produce something, and then therefore she'll get behind that. You know what I'm saying? And begin to help you in the visual and in the movement. And I don't think she'll have a problem, you know, aiding you. Yeah.
Um, Also, I think that when you think of a parked car, it's one thing to be parked with the purpose of going eventually, because you
Hmm.
don't want to just be so driven that you don't
Hmm.
know when to chill out and stop.
Yeah, that's good.
But it's like if you park with the purpose of
Resting.
gaining rest,
Hmm.
or you park to refuel, or
Hmm.
you arrived at a destination. It's like,
That's good.
ooh, you want to get out, you want to enjoy that moment.
Yeah.
You don't want to be constantly being driven. Like, that is not it. It's
You'll
like
wear
we
out.
always on the go. Like, oh
Hmm.
my goodness.
That's a good point.
So make sure that, as you are moving, that you are including her in, that the spouses are including each other in each other's world, because the car, even though it could be a two-seater, it could be a coupe, it could
Hmm.
be a sedan. It's made for passengers.
That's good.
I've never seen a one-seated car. They have not made a smart car like that. And as annoying as it is sometimes is having a passenger driver, most drivers don't want to go alone. So yeah, you want somebody in the car with you.
Yeah.
Hmm.
All right. What's the next question?
All right. So now my energy is a little bit back.
Hmm.
Can you know? Did you notice that?
I
I
have.
noticed that shift too. It sounded like I was about to
It
curse.
did.
Yeah. What the shift wrong with you?
That's
Okay.
good.
Great. Anyway.
That's good.
So
Old Central High
we
School.
got number 5, number 8, and number 13.
I'm not doing 13. 13 was a bonus.
Okay, I don't want you to address the fact that it's a bonus.
You keep
I'm
throwing it up there. I
saying it
don't want to do
because it
13.
is such a good
Well,
question.
just let's go with it then.
I want you to choose. Now, you asked me to give you the questions. Then you listen,
I said the
Leonard,
three. She
listen.
said three, and that was a bonus one. That means if it was kind of
I
it was
circled,
kind of stated that if we get through the three, then the bonus one would be the next one.
sir.
Yes, ma'am.
8 plus 5 equals 13.
All right, let's go. Let's go with it. What is it?
All right,
That's the one you want to do anyway.
number 5.
No, you said 13. Go with 13.
No, it's
No.
too late. Paper, scissors, rock. Then, it's my turn to choose anyway.
No, it's not your turn to choose.
Yes, it
I tell
is.
you what.
Tell me.
All right. No, go ahead. 13. Let's go with it.
I don't want to do it now. What has been the most surprising aspect of marriage that you didn't anticipate before you were married?
I'm going to let you go.
hmm What has been the most surprising aspect of marriage that you didn't anticipate before you were married? This is going to be a doozy, but it is so true. I thought that being with one person, like just being married, like locked down, that it was like bounding, like, oh my
Mm-hmm.
gosh, it's like,
Mm-hmm.
that it was not going to be fun, that it wasn't going to be enjoyable.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, no.
At some point, it was going to get stale.
Uh-huh. But so I would say that was before I got married. When you would look at different people, and it's like, I have to admit, when I was younger, I used to always dream of being married. Or by the same token, it's like, man, they've been together a long time. Like, how
Mm-hmm.
they keep smiling, like, like you look
Mm-hmm.
at the TV and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and shoot, sure enough, it's true. Like, it is so
What's
much.
true?
Being married to you has been very enjoyable.
Oh, you didn't make that. I don't think you stated that. Because we
Sorry.
were stating that marriage is boring. You said, and it's true. If what's true, it's boring. Like, it's, like, that's what I said, that it would be boring, that it would get stale. You're like, uh-huh. And you know what? It's true. I'm like, whoa, wait a minute. Confessions? Hold up, Usher. Okay. Talk about it. No, let's talk about it in front of everybody. Let's get it out. All right, so what's true?
Longevity is so beautiful. It is so comforting. It is so
Can be.
yes.
Hmm.
Yes. Now again, this is let me make sure, the most beautiful, surprising aspect that I didn't anticipate.
Oh, it was beautiful.
No, I added beautiful.
Okay, what's the real? So the real question is, what has been the most surprising aspect of marriage that you didn't anticipate before you were married? And you're saying the beauty
Of
of longevity.
longevity,
Got you.
of companionship,
Okay.
lifelong companionship. Yeah. But before I got married, I didn't think that it was beauty in that.
Hmm.
And so this was, marriage is, for me, was what I needed to experience to be able to exhale and breathe, and the longevity has afforded me to relax and be comfortable in our marriage, to be
Hmm.
in it. And so it's nothing that I couldn't share or couldn't tell you, or you know sometimes, of course I have to still be cognizant of timing.
Hmm.
you know I'm still working on my tone from what Patrick shares is atrocious. I'm working on that. um but
So facial expressions.
well, yeah, see, it's all coming out, so my nonverbals and my verbals. But at any rate,
It's not your tone as much as it is your facial expressions.
you just got one. But yeah, but still, it has proven to be a safe space and place
Hmm.
to make those expressions, and know that he won't run off
Mhm.
because I walled my eyes or I looked a certain way or
Mhm.
I rolled my eyes
Mhm.
and looked a certain way. It's like, okay, girl, and he now early in the marriage it would be a whole thing.
She said. Mm.
In the beginning it would be a whole thing. But over time it's kind of like, Shamika, what's going on with you? Kind of like y'all saw it on the screen. What's going on? Why are you looking and what's going on with you? Your energy off.
Mhm.
And I have to admit, before it was like there was a place of vulnerability, and their vulnerability was not comfortable. But now it's like, ooh, you actually know me. Like I didn't even make a face. I'm smiling, but you saying,
Mhm.
yeah, you present, but you absent.
Mhm. So for me, it's a couple of things.
I feel like,
Yeah, I'm going there.
wait a minute. Well, I was getting ready to say something.
Okay.
Like I like these questions, but I feel like it's more of a therapy session for us. Like I like it, but I don't.
Okay.
So I don't know if I don't know. I think in a way I want to revisit it so it is presented as a to invite others into the world
Mhm.
where it's like they will have a chance to see how they can make a difference in their marriage. Like right now, I just feel like we're talking about us, and
Mhm.
that's annoying to me. No, well, let me say this: it's annoying from the standpoint that I enjoy. Like I'm glad we're getting to talk about it, but I think that we should revisit it where it's presented as a point, like something where they can dig in
That can
deep.
help
The
them out.
audience, yeah,
Right. Which is why I initially said
you did pull out
pay
the.
attention because
Mm-hmm.
we may drop some nuggets that'll help you move forward. So
Yeah,
hopefully from you with the different aspect of marriage, that longevity is can be enjoyed.
yeah.
So now the question to help them out is how can longevity be enjoyed? So you can answer a question about us because some people do want to know about us.
Okay.
The reality is some people want to know, yeah, but what about you? Yeah, like y'all come off as
Oh, that's true.
this
Like
Cosby,
solving it.
you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? My partner
Okay.
always calls us the Cosbys, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Mm-hmm.
so yeah, okay, but how
Got
do
it.
y'all deal with it? Well, what is it about you? You know what I'm saying?
That's good.
So how can they enjoy the longevity of marriage based on your marriage? What
Thank you.
advice can you
I
give
see
them?
now, Coach Pat, I like that. Now I feel like I'm helping. Okay, great.
Hmm.
So I think that the way that you can, if tell me if I'm right about this, like cultivate longevity. Is that
Sure.
right? Okay. So the way that you can begin to experience longevity would be making sure that you continue to be present, like not see the moments, the experiences, and the days as a waste.
Hmm.
Like every time, every experience, every moment is a time, it's a link into the longevity,
Hmm.
right? So we just experienced 27 years, but it started June the 17th, day one. And it just kept linking, like each day, each moment, whether it was uh, good or bad. And all of it counts towards the
Hmm.
end goal.
Hmm.
And so, in my mind, when it comes to marriage, like when you say I do, which do is an action word,
Hmm.
I do. I show up.
Hmm.
I give. I be present. Um, then that is, again, it is a link in the longevity. And I believe some moments are more memorable than others. Like
Hmm.
each day you get is a link. And but then let's say if you experience a breakdown on the side of the road
Hmm.
and your spouse come through clutch,
Hmm.
then that may count as three links. One, two, three. It's like it keeps giving you more links in the longevity where it's like we are bound. Again,
Hmm.
we connected. We connected.
I'm glad because
Stop laughing.
I'm not.
No, let me finish.
All right, go ahead.
We're connected but it doesn't feel binding.
Uh-huh.
It doesn't feel like bondage.
That's good.
It's
I'm glad
kind
you
of
said
like
that.
this my life partner.
Yeah.
Like this my friend. Like I don't want it to end.
Right.
Versus get me out of this. So it's
Right.
not enslaving, but it's empowering. It's like,
That's good.
oh, it just I don't know. So anyway, it's just each moment. And then the good moments would be, you know, you have flowers delivered to you.
Mhm.
Boom, 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 boom.
Mhm.
So I know some people describe it as like coins in the love bank, but in my mind, I saw it more so as links in a chain. Uh, Stop laughing, Patrick, because and I say that because
I
of the
could like if
longevity.
we if this video gets a lot of views,
Hmm.
I can see people using links in a chain as a negative
Yeah.
rather than a positive. You know what I'm
Uh huh.
saying?
And that would be, and that's so funny, but that would be how it changed for me. Because the truth of the matter is, you think about getting married. When we were younger, it was the ball and chain.
Right.
You had the person in the prison suit with the
Mhm.
stripes and stuff on it,
Mhm.
and it was kind of like I'm locked down.
Mhm.
But the rope was the little link was so short, and it was controlling. Like if I'm
Mhm.
going over here, you coming over here. It's like
Yeah.
no, it's not like that.
Gotcha.
But then by the same token, these links don't give me rope to go off,
Mhm.
but it's repurposed.
Mhm.
It's like I don't want as much as life has its ups and downs, its ebbs and flows. It has its dark days. Like and Patrick can tell you, we have cried. We have had to live through negative bank accounts. We have had to live through plush accounts. We have had to live through sacrifices and all of that. But with life offering all of that, and I know that it has its stuff. I'm not ready to leave yet. Like I'm having a blast,
Wait a minute, whoa, time out. You said I'm not ready to leave
meaning
yet.
to die.
Okay.
Oh gosh, I need to
Hey
start
man, listen.
communicating
Hey
better.
man,
I'm not.
I'm just
Patrick
trying to
is
figure out where
so
we
funny.
is,
Yes,
not where
no,
we are, where we
no.
is.
My point is, with life doing all that it does, with the wars and
Mhm.
with famine, with all of the stuff, the
Mhm.
tears and the scars and the heartaches, like listen, crying over different things that it's like I didn't sign up for that.
Mhm.
And as much as I love my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ and looking forward to the day when I get to finally meet him face to face, I'm not rushing.
Right.
Like this life is good for me.
Right.
Like let me go through continue the process because
Mhm.
it's been enjoyable having you with me.
Good. Thank you, baby. I appreciate that. Same here. All right.
Ditto.
So mine, yes, what she said. All right. So mine is a lot bit different. So I got two things. Number one, um, I always thought.
My water. Good night. Okay.
I mean, I'm talking.
Sorry.
I always thought that I would get it no matter what. You know what I'm saying?
Wow. And
I
you do.
hold on. You gotta hear me out.
You better speak fast.
So
Look,
prior to, first of
nine
all, hold on. First of all,
on a scale from
you
0 to
not
10,
you
you get
interrupted me. You
9.999.
interrupted me. You won't let me finish.
Well, you
So
better hear it.
when we were living in sin,
We
it
were
was
sinking deep.
whatever. It didn't matter. It was no like it wasn't no cage matches. You know what I'm saying?
What you mean,
It was
Cage?
free fall. It was like a free range chicken. Just
Oh God, Patrick
it's just
Harrison.
whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Oh.
Then, hey, it started
And
coming
then,
with
no, come
no.
on.
I didn't interrupt you. I did not interrupt
You
you.
should
I
have.
did
You
not
should
interrupt you.
have. You should have. Because
You won't
before
let you
then,
finna mess up. You won't let me finish. You won't let me finish. So then we get married as time go on. You know, in my mind, arguments don't get in the way of nothing. Sickness don't get in the way of nothing. Death don't get in the way of it. it's coming. Like we doing it, it's going on, it's going forth. And then I realized, wait a minute, hold up. Shawty ain't like she ain't doing it like it was before we got married. And I'm like, okay, man, I just thought this is the license that would allow it to happen every day, all day, whenever, whatever the case may be. Now, what I didn't realize is that the longer you stay in it and the closer you become with one another, that it becomes that it get it for me that what I'm saying, there's a possibility that it can get back to the many times, yet it's going to be done with more love, more intimacy, um, more more depth. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not just action now. There's more emotional connection to it. There are more mental connection to it. Like so it gets better. So go along with the longevity.
Patrick, say it in a short way.
I'm not saying a short way. Along with the
Thank you.
longevity that finally at some point they say this woman told Shamika, she said, "Oh baby, don't worry about it. Wait till you get older. It get greater later." And I can say it does get greater later. Now I had to figure out that sometimes you have har- hormonal imbalance and things, and working through that, had to understand about what the little things that create in their mind the desire and the intimacy. And
Mm-hmm.
I used to always tell beforehand, man, you got to recreate an atmosphere of intimacy. Now, I used to say it with head knowledge. Then, as I began to go through it with
No
just
pun intended.
understanding, no pun intended, then I realized, wait a minute, this really, like, that's a for real thing. Like, I really have to recreate this atmosphere
Of
to make
romance.
to make
Mm-hmm.
her feel gushy, you know what I'm saying, or mushy, like not like that, but you know what I'm saying, ain't like that, you know what I'm saying. So it was like, okay, cool, like there was a drop off, and then it was built back up, but now it's built back up.
Patrick,
Hold
you.
on, now it's built back up with a lot more emotions, and there's a lot more, um, uh, um, what's the word I'm looking for? Intimacy. It gets better. It gets greater. So that was one thing. Second thing,
All right, now you just gonna zoom past it.
well, yeah. So second thing is,
He a mess, y'all.
the second thing is when we got married, I didn't think we would have the issues that we had. I didn't think we would have the type of arguments that we had.
What kind of
Uh,
arguments we have?
will you stop interrupting me? I didn't think we would have the type of arguments that we had the first 14 years of our marriage. Definitely the
Mm,
first two, and then from 3 to 14. It was like certain things just like, okay, so now on the 14th year, can marriage actually get better? I didn't like that 14th year, I was like, I don't know if this thing could get better. And after the 14th year, and us being more intentional about making sure we take care of each other, we watch out for each other, we give each other space, we allow ourselves to be vulnerable with one another, that we really look back and here's the thing, rebuild the cracks in the foundation of our friendship. I can say now from the 14th to the 27th anniversary, it's been growing and growing and just been getting better and better and better. So number one, I didn't think my marriage, because I thought we were like from an intellectual standpoint, we were just like we clicked. So I didn't think we would ever get to a point where I wanted to be out. Then from the time I wanted to be out, it's like, can it ever get to a point where I don't ever want this thing to end? And both of those happened. And the one would go back with Shamika saying, like this thing has been, it's just been climbing and climbing and climbing and getting better and better, mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, financially. Everything's been clicking. So, yeah. So Will it ever get bad? Yeah, it can. When it's bad, can it ever get better? I'm telling y'all, yes, it can. But you have to put in everything you can to make sure it does or give your marriage the opportunity to get better. So that's for me. Yeah. Now what you got to say?
I don't even remember talking
Good.
so long. The point is, you be getting it.
Anyway, that's all.
He do.
Whatever. I don't want to tell them that.
Well, delete.
Anyway,
And we
we're
look
gonna.
forward to seeing you back at His Wife, Her Husband when we drop our next episode.
All right. Take care. God bless you.